There is one kind of power that most people never think about until the day it is taken from them. The power to feed yourself. Most people spend their entire lives building someone else's table, never realizing they have no seat of their own. And the moment that table is removed, they have nothing to eat. Think about how many people wake up every morning, and their first thought is whether their boss is happy with them, whether their contract will be renewed, whether the company will downsize, whether the client will stay. Their entire survival, their ability to eat, to pay rent, to provide for their family, is held in someone else's hand. One decision, one email, one meeting, and everything falls apart. This is not just a financial problem, it is a dignity problem. Because when someone else controls your income, they also control your silence. They control your confidence. They control how much you can afford to stand up for yourself. There is a story that has stayed with me for a long time. It is not about a famous person. It is about an ordinary man, a man who could have been any one of us. He worked for a large company for 17 years. He gave them everything. Long nights, missed birthdays, holidays spent answering emails. He was loyal in the way only people who are afraid can be loyal. Not out of love, but out of need. Because somewhere deep down, he knew that without that job, he had no plan, no savings worth speaking of, no side income, no land, no alternative. Just a salary that arrived on the 25th and disappeared by the 5th. For 17 years, he told himself. He was building something, security, a future, a reputation. And then one Thursday afternoon, a man he had never spoken to in his life called him into a boardroom and told him his position had been made redundant. Restructuring. Thank you for your service. Here is a box for your belongings. He sat in his car for 40 minutes, unable to start the engine, not because he was grieving the job, but because he suddenly understood something that 17 years of comfort had hidden from him. He had never been building. He had been renting. And the landlord had just locked the door. That man wasn't lazy. He wasn't incompetent. He wasn't unlucky. He was dependent. And dependence, no matter how comfortable, is always one decision away from devastation. Here is the wisdom I want you to sit with. A hungry man will do anything. He will stay silent when he should speak. He will agree when he should push back. He will shrink when he should grow. Hunger is not just physical. The fear of financial hunger shapes your entire personality. It shapes your decisions. It shapes your relationships. It shapes who you become. The person who controls your income controls your reality. And most people have handed that control away without ever realizing what they gave up. They traded sovereignty for stability. And they discovered, too late, that the stability was never really theirs. This is why the wise do not build one road. They build multiple. Not because they are greedy, not because they are restless, but because they understand a fundamental law of survival. Never make yourself so dependent on one source that its removal can break you. A tree with one root can be pulled from the ground. A tree with many roots requires the whole earth to move. So what does this mean for your life right now? It means you need to look honestly at your situation. Ask yourself, if my primary income disappeared tomorrow, what would I have? Not what could I eventually figure out, but what do I have right now? If the answer is nothing, then you are already in a vulnerable position, even if you feel comfortable today. Comfort is not the same as security. Start building a second stream. It doesn't have to be large. It doesn't have to be perfect. A small farm, a skill you monetize on weekends, a product, a service, content that earns while you sleep. The size does not matter at the beginning. What matters is that you begin breaking the architecture of total dependence. Learn to produce, not just earn. There is a difference between someone who exchanges time for money and someone who creates value that earns independently of their time. Move toward becoming the second kind of person. Slowly, if necessary, but with intention and consistency. Reduce what you owe. The man with no debt is harder to control than the man drowning in obligations. Every liability you carry is a chain that tightens the grip of whoever signs your check. And protect your knowledge. Skills are portable. Land is real. Your ability to solve problems, create things, and build systems, that belongs to you. No boardroom can make it redundant. The world respects those who have options, not because they are arrogant, but because they negotiate from a place of strength. They can say no. They can walk away. They can choose. And that freedom, the freedom to choose, is the most underrated form of wealth on earth. Never put yourself in a position where someone can starve you. Not financially, not emotionally, not professionally. Build your roots deep and wide. Build your own table. Grow your own food. And the next time someone tries to remove the thing you depend on, let them. Because you will already be eating. The most dangerous person in any room is not the loudest. It is the one who does not need to be there.